podcast will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Deja vu. How are you, Mr. Phil Recto?
I'm doing great, Paco. Hey, thanks again for having me on the show.
Are you kidding me? One of the best episodes that we've ever had was your episode. Episode 6. And 6 wasn't even your number.
No, but it does fit my figure.
No.
60.
60.
You forget so much.
I know.
That episode
60.
in our discussion.
No, but it was one of the, and I say, people actually have come to me and have actually told me that
Who the hell is that white guy?
not even the color of your skin, but what they said was, wow, very real. You were very unabashed. You like my words?
I love it. You have grown your vocabulary.
Yes, but one a day, one a month, and all that stuff. But it's good to have you back.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back, man.
And
you know, it was such a short notice. And I gotta say thank you for having me on. Because obviously, when you do get to see this podcast, we're actually recording it on a Saturday, about a week after the
explosion,
of
Taal
Taal Volcano. Yeah. So no, thanks for having me over, because it's a topic that we want to discuss.
Yes.
And a topic we want to get to.
By the way, before you go there, I just want the listeners and the viewers to know that you don't live down the street from the studio.
Depends the street you're talking about. If you're talking about the Interstate 5.
I know, that's just one big route. But no, guys. Paco's place is like 200 miles away from where Mr. Recto lives. Okay, explain that. How was the commute? I mean, how long was the commute?
The commute to get from San Diego to your place is roughly about 2 hours.
Right.
And that's
without traffic.
Well, no, there's even with traffic there. I mean, you kind of don't get through traffic. I mean, if you're traveling like at odd hours, there's no traffic. But during the regular day, you're going to hit traffic here and there.
True.
Stuff happens. Nothing like traffic in the Philippines, because it's so much more nicer.
Really?
Can we really say that there's such a thing as nice traffic? Let's say it's more tolerable and more not chaotic. Like if there are 4 lanes, there are 4 lanes of cars rather than 4 lanes, 6 lanes.
Like 4 lanes of traffic. Sa Philippines, 4 lanes, 6 lanes of traffic.
Exactly. That's what I guess what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's always a pleasure coming up here. I have a lot of friends in LA anyway, and I always wish I could be around you guys a little more. But San Diego's home. And for those who don't know, San Diego's like LA, except much, much better.
Oh, change topic. Okay, fine. We'll take that. Now, before we move any further, this episode is dear to both of us. Because Taal, which is right in the Calabar zone, if you guys are not familiar with that, that's the, what's the Ka? That's Cavite, La is Laguna, Ba is Batangas. R is Rizal. The Calabar zone, right?
Yes.
And so all that area is kind of affected by the explosion of the volcano.
It's not just the Tagaytay, Talisay, Taal Island. It's not just that, because the sheer power of the volcano eruption, it disrupts communities,
livelihoods,
large amounts of people.
Yeah. And there have been a lot of fundraising events, but not too much in terms of where to donate. There are a lot of people who would like to donate, but they just don't know where to go.
It's not just that. It's because, let's get straight to the point here. Nasa Pilipinas, we've grown up thinking, knowing our whole lives, may mga, bad politicians and people who take the funds for themselves. And I remember when Tacloban,
Yep.
what was that? They started finding people were hoarding
Hoarding
the
rice,
rice
yeah.
that was meant for the poor. I mean, it kind of stops people from wanting to give because they think, why would I give? Pupunta lang yan sa mga pockets ng
Politicians,
mga
yeah.
politicians, mga ano. But I hope that miski paano, you do take the time to find a way to get the funds and the help to those people. And when I heard about this happening, it was Sunday morning. I was in my home, and I couldn't stop looking. I was like, how many times have you been to Tagaytay or Talisay?
A lot. When I was growing up, siguro every time may girlfriend ako, nandun ako.
Yeah, and I go a lot too. My family would travel there. My grandma has a condo in Tagaytay,
Right.
overlooking this beautiful,
lake.
lake with this beautiful volcano. This was part of our lives, our childhood. Tagaytay was this place that you would visit. You'd experience this wonderful aura of nature and beauty and people. And one of my favorite things about going to Tagaytay was all the side streets would have like these vendors selling food,
Yes,
selling
yes.
fresh,
Oh my God,
re-picked
yeah.
fruits. Except talangka, I never really ate talangka.
Talaga?
No, that wasn't my thing.
By the way, wait. Recto, you belong to the Recto clan from
Yes.
Batangas, right?
Yes. My well, I guess I should,
Great or
you know
great?
what, the Batangueños, and I'm proud to say this, is how we love to play the 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
We always say, teka lang, Arespacochaga ka. Alam mo, yung kapatid kong anak, yung kaklase niya, meron siyang teacher na
Arespacochaga.
Hindi, actually yung driver ng Mr. Arespacochaga, are you related to him? It's almost like that whole scene in Spaceballs.
Yeah.
If anybody's ever seen Spaceballs, we're old, so Spaceballs, whatever. But I stopped and reflected on that characteristic, that stigma. I forget what the word is, but that Batangueños do this all the time, and I stop and think about what happened to them and the Caviteños and
Yes.
anybody else, any other.
My family is from Cavite.
Yeah.
There you go. That's why this
Yeah.
is very dear to me.
It's
too.
very dear to both of us. And when I thought about that characteristic, I was like, it makes it even harder to think of what they're going through because they always seem to find a way to connect to each other.
Yeah.
It's like they're drawing lines between dots and saying like, we're all part of, we all know
we
each
are
other.
one.
We're one.
Yeah, we are one.
And it burdens my heart thinking of that even more because, I thought of so many times that when I visited Tagaytay and people would have conversations with my dad or my mom and they'd play that 6 degrees of separation, they're finding ways to relate to you. They're finding ways to connect you to them.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's almost like you're part of us. You're part of our family. You know what I mean? Of community. And it stuck in my head when I saw all the images and the evacuees and stuff like that. I'm like wondering what they're thinking of, given that they feel like they have this connection to a lot of communities.
But what's noble about what you're doing? You just didn't stop about thinking of what they were thinking. You actually did something right away. You took the initiative to do something right away.
And it never feels enough. It never does. Listen, to the people who follow me on Facebook, I have been cluttering my Facebook for weeks with information, stories, videos.
Yeah.
Because I'm just trying to keep it in the eye of the people that there's this calamity. There's something going on.
Right.
And especially for us, mga Pilipino. Even if you're from
a different town.
a different province. Hell, if you're not even from Luzon, if you're from Taga Visayas, Mindanao, we're a small country.
Yeah.
We are a small country.
You know how small
Take
we
away
are?
all the
Do you know how small we are?
how small
We
are we?
are less. We are smaller than California.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Smaller than California.
And if you take out all the water in between
Yeah,
and
very
you,
small.
and you smash all the land
Yes.
islands, we're even
Yes,
smaller than
smaller than that.
We could all probably fit within LA County
or Delaware.
or Delaware. Yeah.
Yeah. So with this thing we're doing, we are gonna, before we chit chat, let's get down to the
Yeah.
meats and potatoes, meat and potatoes of what we're going to do. And I would like to take this opportunity, guys. I mean, you know, you being here is such an honor and a blessing because right now the podcast is being used for something worthwhile.
Yes.
I mean, that's the goal naman talaga eh. But now, it's all yours, brother. I mean,
thank
say
you.
what you want to say. Let's let them hear it.
Well, before I do say so, or say what I have to say, so Paco, thanks for opening your podcast to this event and for this
Absolutely.
absolutely necessary times for the people.
Yes.
And I'm not just thanking you from me personally. I'm also thanking you from the bottom of all the other Batangueños and of course
The
your fellow
Caviteños,
people from
yeah.
Cavite and everybody else that
Laguna,
were
Rizal,
affected.
everybody.
So I prepared something to say, and I had to write it down because I wanted it to be meaningful.
Right.
Ponchi Buenavista, our common friend, he posted something in Facebook, and I'd like to pull it up and read it because it was actually a quote from the Bible, Matthew's something. I'm not really
Sure.
good at those, but it reminded me of why I'm so vocal online about this whole situation. And because of my conversation online with Ponchi, I had to sit down and write something. And it had to be a direct message that I wanted it to actually make a difference. I hope it makes a difference. And I hope it makes a difference for everyone to open their hearts. So, if you don't mind.
I don't mind. We don't mind.
Okay, so, my dear Filipinos, I come to you with a plead for the fellow Batangueños, Caviteños, and all other kababayans who have been gravely affected by the recent eruption of Taal Volcano. As you may have seen from news organizations and social media, thousands have fled to safety, leaving behind their homes, their communities, their crops, livestock, animals, everything to perish. There is a need for these evacuees for us to come together in solidarity to protect these fellow Filipinos' health, well-being, and their hopes and dreams of prosperity. Although I did not grow up among the communities affected by these disasters, my family's heritage spawns from the great province of Batangas. As a child, I was told many times that my bloodline is from this great land, and we must be proud to call ourselves one with the Batangueños, even though I did not live among the people. The impoverished is the majority of the population of our great country, in which we are forever connected to, regardless whether we have migrated to distant lands. They are the majority of the hardest working people who most provide the Filipino economy with prosperity, commerce, agricultural products, and food to those who are lucky to have in abundance. Life is already hard for them, but since the eruption, many of those are now left with no capability to be a part of the economy. Some of them are left with nothing. These people left their homes, their businesses, their community, their crops, their livestock, their only source of income, their memories. They left it all behind to avoid losing their lives. As they fled, covered in their sweat and tears, they also left covered in the ashes that are now a stained reminder of their lives forever affected. Fleeing to nearby shelters in which will never feel like home, they make do with their lives, their children, and their elderly. Although they are in safe distance, the air quality reaches far up even to Metro Manila. The stench in the air serves as a reminder that even though they are in safer areas from ground zero, their health still remains in jeopardy as they breathe in the pollution that can cause long-term respiratory diseases and illnesses. Hunger has always been a part of the poor. For those who fled their communities, they now are exposed to suffer from starvation. Lacking nutrients in their bodies, their immune system can be affected in such a way that the illnesses they may face can overwhelm their health. At worst, they lose their lives. Although these physical needs have to be met for them to survive, I bring to you another powerful reason why we must protect our fellow Filipinos affected by this calamity. Many of these victims who already struggled but continued to work hard to make their lives meaningful have lost hope, their dreams, and the ability to rebuild from scratch. The faces of many that I saw showed images of parents sitting with their children. I imagine what is going through their heads as these children turn to them and ask them, "When are we going home? Did my friends make it to the shelters? Will my dog be okay? Is our boat still there? Will our horses, chickens, and cows survive?" These innocent questions from the young will be haunting to those parents who cannot answer their children, as many of them worry and ask the same questions to themselves. Hope is a devastating value to lose. Hope helps the poor strive and move forward even in stressful times. Hope is what fills our people with enough strength to protect their loved ones and communities from harder times. But regardless of the strength of the hearts and minds of the people, Mother Nature has no sympathy for any human being on this planet. Mother Nature has the capability and sheer force to cause great harm. Mother Nature can turn from beauty to violence in a split second. When the time comes, we may all perish. But although there are those who have forgotten hope, I am still proud to see many Filipinos and other nations addressing the call to action, sending the aid needed to restore the health and dignity of our displaced evacuees. I have seen the hearts of many rise to the occasion to provide hope to where hope was lost, providing medical products, food, shelter, hygienic products, and clothing to those who have lost the capability to provide for themselves. Although this brings great joy to our hearts, it is only the beginning to their survival. They need the great and giving hearts of the Filipinos to help rebuild their towns, communities, farms, hospitals, schools, businesses, roads, and other infrastructures. They will need our help to give back their pride and their joy, their land, their ability to prosper, their ability to help generate hope for themselves and their loved ones. We must answer the call to action once the time comes. We must rise to the true nature of a Filipino and pull ourselves together to save those who cannot save themselves. I thank those who have already risen to the occasion. I urge and plead to those who have not yet done so. It is not too late to ever save a soul. For saving one soul surely will save your own. Many, many thanks to your ears. Whoa.
You okay?
Yeah. It's meaningful, it's necessary, and it is what we want, what we feel, and what we really, really want for these people.
That genuine concern goes a long, long way.
And it is a concern that I hope many people share.
And tama ka, while you were reading your speech, one soul. Yun lang eh. We're not trying to save the world. One soul. Diba? I mean, just if everybody does their part, and if they do it right, not only do it right, but do it with the intent of really getting goods or monetary help or aid to the people who need it. Oh my God, ang dali-dali. Wala tayong problema.
Yeah. And you know what? I do have to thank God for something that I've never seen. Something this large of a calamity. And we've grown up through a lot of calamities that happened in the Philippines.
Yes.
I haven't heard of a single human casualty. Have you?
No.
Okay, and that's a great thing. But it doesn't mean there are no victims.
That's true.
So we shouldn't forget that. And the calamity is still ongoing because, again, there are health concerns. They're exposed to the environments out there.
Right.
If you're homeless and you're exposed to the environments, your immune system is exposed to these things. Your health, the respiratory systems, as I was just mentioning.
Yeah.
You inhale these things, and there's high sulfur amounts. It's just not good.
Speaking of that, no, I don't know where I saw it, but there are people who are overpricing the mask.
Yes, and we're calling you out. We're definitely calling you out.
Mask, essential stuff that people need. You guys have the gall to actually overprice those masks?
Screw you guys. And I'm going to say this with forcefulness, and I'm sorry if I cuss on your show. Fuck you, motherfuckers, because you should at least, sorry, donate those masks.
Diba?
It is your people, your group. These people who are buying from your stores and your products for your goods and service, what good is holding on to those if the people you're serving to die?
Are dead, yeah.
Think about that for a second.
True.
And you got to do what you got to do. If you want to raise... don't give me this bullshit about economy because, supply and demand. There's high demand, so we have to raise prices for control of the products. Right now, your products don't mean shit without the lives of those people.
That's very true. You good?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. No.
No, it's because it's a very passionate subject for us.
I'm just reading it. I'm going, wow, ang kapal ng mukha nyo. And sometimes you just want to ignore those people, but calling them out is good because now when everybody calls them out, they're going to shut up and they're going to get on with the program and fall in line and actually, they can see right through me. By the way, speaking of shout out, mentor mo, Nathan Ozarcon, doing a very, very good job.
Nate, I reached out to you and we've talked on social media. I just want to personally, again, say, my God, you've always been someone I looked up to since I was a kid. Watching you play bass in my house and growing to become this fantastic artist that you are and was meant to become. But, what you've been doing for the people is just another side of Nathan Azarcon that I still look up to. Yeah. And I'm
amen.
What can I say? I hope people do see that side of the Nathan Nazarkan a lot because it means a lot to so many people getting those goods and services and those medical supplies to them. Thank you so much. And if you don't mind, another shout out to another friend of mine. His name's Dr. Tiger Garrido. He is a doctor that runs directly to hard hit places. When he was in Tacloban, when he was Typhoon Ontoy, he was there. He was there helping the people directly with his medical capabilities, bringing them goods, and not just bringing them the goods, but actually being there, helping them recover as a doctor. So Tiger, man, much love to you, brother, and I give you so much props to what you do.
Ito bang si Tiger, may kapatid na Lion?
Actually, I do know a guy named Lion.
I do know a guy named Lion who has a brother named Tiger.
Oh my God.
Oh, mga kabatch ko sa CSB. Kabatch namin yung Pochi.
Does he have? Do they have a sister named Cheetah?
I hope not. Wag naman. But speaking of that also, as artists, and let's not fall into the trap of being duped. Because a lot of people are going to take advantage of this
Oh my God.
fundraising thing.
You know, Paco, you posted that on your Facebook, and
You read
know,
that, huh?
Yeah. The thing is, I didn't even think about that because I'm not a production guy. I'm just a guy who shows up to the shows. You know, kind of like that blue collar worker guy. Okay, where's my paycheck?
Right.
Put me on the stage. Wonderful. I'm never behind the production of putting together shows. So it was quite an eye-opening thing. And go ahead, talk about it because man, this is necessary for artists that want to do good, but you got to watch your back. So go ahead.
Thank you. Pretty much, we want to do good, and people are going to invite us to be part of a fundraising event, right? Now, we when I say we, Intro Voice, we've been victimized by this. Philippines pa, hindi kami natuto. There was this guy called The Duke, and he had this program called Rock Against Drugs. And he ended up running away with all the funds.
You know, first of all, in my mind, rock against drugs almost sounds hypocritical.
Right? But, I mean, we were part of that.
Sorry.
We were part of that. Tapos na one time kami. And so we just shied away from it. And then when we came to the States, may mga iba kaming nasalihan na fundraising. And here it's different in the States. When I say different, everybody pays taxes.
As we
should, right?
As we should.
And because of that, it opened my eyes to tax exemptions. And sometimes we forget that everything we do has value. Otherwise, why even do it? When people invite you to be part of a fundraising event, your talent has value. That's what you're contributing. But the reality is, as much as you want to contribute that, you're better off just if you will cooperate or if you will do this with someone who has the wrong intention, you're better off just donating something to the cause directly, is my point.
Yes.
Why? Because an organization for a fundraising event has to have a beneficiary that is a non-profit organization related to the cause, or the organizer is actually a non-profit organization that will donate to the cause. Let's say you're a ticket buyer. Let's say I'm a non-profit organization and I hold this event because I want to raise funds for the victims in the Taal Volcano explosion. If I sell you a raffle ticket or even a ticket to the show, that ticket is a donation receipt. You can write it off. If I'm a for-profit organization and you buy a ticket from me, that ticket means nothing to you. You just gave me your money.
Yes.
Ako naman, I will run to whoever is the non-profit organization. If I generate $20,000 or $30,000, I can run to the nonprofit organization and donate the $30,000. The
And the
nonprofit
tax.
the nonprofit organization will give me the donation receipt.
And you get to write it off on taxes while the artists cannot.
Cannot.
There's a very important thing that everybody who's taken up any business class
Go.
knows. Money saved is money earned.
That's true.
We all pay taxes as we should, but we are also entitled to tax exemptions.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
If there is an exemption,
Yeah.
why not file it?
Yeah.
Especially because you also
Yes.
need these exemptions, these tax exemptions are there for your benefit.
For your benefit, yeah.
As a citizen of the country where you are paying taxes to, you are entitled to such exemptions.
Yep.
Money saved is
It's
money,
money
earned.
earned. This
And
is it.
if you do, if you, and you know what? I hope it doesn't make you people not want to do anything. That's not the point of the
Nope.
story. The point is that we are also trying to protect our artists. We want to make sure you guys get the opportunity to do good, but we don't want you to be duped.
Yeah.
The basic point.
Even as organizers. Let's say you and I become the organizers. Phil, help me organize an event.
Fuck no.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know how to do.
No. And then I'll teach you what to do, diba? So let's say I teach you what to do. Now, you, me, JJ.
Am I really that good at learning on the go?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Let's say you, me, and JJ, we organize an event. And then we get bands. And then we give the bands a certificate of appreciation in $100.
Appreciation. Yeah.
$100. Okay? So, ganyan. And then, kayong dalawa, binigyan ko kayo ng, let's say ikaw, binigyan ko ng $200. Tapos si JJ, binigyan ko ng $200. Tapos, nasa akin yung $20,000. And then I tell you guys, oh guys, I'm gonna get $200 for me also. Tapos, yung the rest of the money, i-donate ko na sa, let's say, ABS-CBN Foundation. Di ba, kunyari?
Kunwari, yeah.
And then, both of you are just gonna go, oh, sige, Pax, ikaw na mag-donate. Ang hindi nyo alam, sa akin na pala napunta yung donation receipt. So, I didn't really just make $200, right?
Yeah.
I made two.
You saved on your taxes how much, right?
Di ba?
Yeah. And you may not see that because you file your taxes once a year, but
Right.
come April 15, I don't know.
April 15.
I
Before,
don't know if
yeah.
it's the same in the
It-
Philippines.
no,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So come April 15, Paco becomes the rich man.
Exactly.
And
Baka
you
nga
know,
may refund pa ako because of that, right?
Yes.
And all that stuff.
but at the same time, I don't want to scare people from
No.
doing the right
So-
thing. I do not.
Okay, so here's my point.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an artist, tama yung sinabi mo. Because guys, off-cam, Phil said, I just wanted to go busking and get a guitar and a tip jar and kung sino magtitip sa akin, blah, 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 and all that stuff. And then yung pera nga, i-donate mo na lang. Di ba? That's what you want. That's
Yeah,
what you...
pretty much.
Ang suggestion ko, if you really, as an artist, want to help out, do your own show.
Very much so.
And then all the proceeds, ibigay nyo.
And you know, you don't have to be a big artist.
No.
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 Like, you know, my favorite shows are always the small venues. I did play big places and I did play, you know, large venues. I love the small venues because I love being much, much closer to the crowd.
Ako rin.
It's just something I really enjoy. Small
Me too.
venue shows are so, you know, it's
Intimate.
so romantic.
Very
And
intimate.
I'm using the word romantic because it is.
Yeah.
You have this relationship with the crowd and they see you, you see them.
Yes.
Those people have the capabilities of putting up a show. You guys already have your contacts with your venues. Go put on a show. Go put on a show. Give them a reason to want to go to your show, which
Yeah.
is, and it's a good reason. Trust me, anything to do to benefit the poor of the Philippines is a good reason. It is a good reason to go out there and put your instruments where your mouth is and play. It is a great reason why you want to even give a good show, first and foremost. I mean, this isn't just so you can feel good about yourself. It's not. Remember, this is for the people who will benefit. That's a reason why they call it benefit shows. Because the ones who will benefit not necessarily will be you. It'll be the people you're fighting for to save. It'll be for the people that did lose everything or lose portions of their lives. We're trying to give it back to them. It'll never be the same. Money cannot buy happiness, but it helps. It helps a lot. Medicine will help keep their lives alive. Clothes will keep them protected from the elements. The N95 masks, which we've been talking about, will help protect them from the pollution that will hurt their respiratory organs and cause more illness. We want to help these people. The food will keep them nourished. And like I said, the money should also go to help them rebuild the communities that they have lost or have been damaged.
Totoo yun. That's very, very true. Now, if the goal is to really, help the community, and if that's what you really want to do, it is your responsibility to know who you are giving the money to.
Yeah.
And that's why you're also here. Because ang naging problema mo in San Diego was, oh my God, I don't even know where the disaster centers are, right?
Yes.
Kumbaga, where do I donate? Where do I go to donate? And remember, that was one issue that you had?
I had, and it was because just like everybody else, and like what we were talking about at the top of the show, is like, there are kurakot people.
Yes.
There are people that are going to steal money and not get it to the people who deserve it or in need of it.
Okay, time out.
Yes.
Speaking of that, since you know, and I'm speaking to my audience also, since you know that there are people who will get the money and just make kurakot, don't be stupid and give it to just anybody, because then your effort just went in vain.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Kaya yun ibig sabihin I would rather, teka muna, let me find out where I can give, because
it does help to stop and take the time
yan,
to do your research
yan,
of what is the best way to get help to those people. Seriously. Because the point is to get help
to those people.
To those people.
$5 mo, napunta sa nangangailangan, $100 ko, napunta sa bulsa ng politician. Who was more effective? Ikaw.
Exactly.
Ikaw nakatulong ka. Ako hindi
because
ako nakatulong.
100% of my donation
exactly.
was to them.
Sa akin, palpak. Because I did not do my due diligence. So,
and something I want to encourage the Filipino people to do. Put your politicians in place.
Yeah.
Have them show how much money has been raised.
Yep.
Put it on paper.
Yep.
And have them put it on paper how much money was given to the poor. I understand that there are expenses like...
Put it there too.
Put it there too. Put it all on paper. Everything, every expense, everything necessary to get these people what they need, which is help. Now, we can bash on these people all we want to. It doesn't help the cause, because I want to rather give praise to the ones
Amen.
Who have been saviors to our fellow Caviteños, Batangueños, and everyone else around, because there are angels, and I do believe that there are more angels than devils in the Philippines. It's just that the devils hold higher power, and that's
true.
We can't stop that. But angels in large masses will always triumph over evil every time. I believe that at the very most. And I've seen pictures of people getting on their tricycles, getting on their scooters, taking their own personal vans.
Have you seen that?
Filling it up with stuff
Speaking of that,
and getting it to the people. Amazing.
Have you
and
seen
I'm
that,
giving them love.
Have you seen that viral photo of the South Luzon Expressway?
Yes. And it's the first time I felt good about traffic.
Right? Lahat papunta ron, yung goods and all that. Oh
and
my God, thank you, Lord.
It makes us proud to be Filipinos.
Yes.
These actions are the ones that we want to promote. Yes, there are bad people out there, but sorry, fuck them. Fuck them. You are a good person and you're going to do the right thing. So do your research, find out where your best places you can go to donate what you got to donate.
Right.
Props also to my alma mater, De La Salle Zobel. They opened their place to take in donations to get to them. You know, they've been doing that since I was a child, growing up through their school system.
Yun.
I always knew that they can get it to them.
So, De La Salle Zobel, I mean, if you're in the area, that's a good place. That's a
That's a
legitimate
legit place to get
Yes.
it to. Another one that my wife and I chose to donate to, my two good friends, Angie Binder, sorry, I don't know.
Binder.
Binder, is it Angie Binder?
Yeah.
And Sherry Pennymaker Mantle. Sorry if I'm getting your names wrong. But they opened me to also see that Arnel Pineda has a foundation.
Yes.
And I trust that because as I was watching videos, he is there. He is there in ground zero right now. And I trust my money going to him. My wife and I already donated 5,000 pesos to his
Amen.
to his cause. So, Arnel, thank you so much for your foundation. We really hope that the success of your foundation reflects on the success of the rebuilding of these people.
And yun legit, ha? Legit ang foundation ni
Yes, it is. And you know what? If you got to go the general route that of help to these other organizations like the Philippine Red Cross,
Yan.
PETA Asia, if you want to help the animals, Doctors Without Borders, organizations that have proven to be there for the people in times of crisis, go for it. Go for it. I know that, it's not 100%, but getting them there helps.
Yes.
It helps. So yes,
Any help helps.
any help helps.
As long as
So,
it goes to the right people.
yes, and you can trust those organizations because they've been around forever. They're not in the pockets of politicians or kurakot people. They've been around forever. So again, just to plug it one more time, Arnel Pineda's Foundation, the Philippine Red Cross, PETA Asia, and Doctors Without Borders.
Guys, we'll put that in the description para at least they
Yes.
can click on the link and you guys can get more information.
And please, on social media, for everybody that has social media.
Did you just burp?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Akala ko you burped on the mic. I'm just kidding.
That's a burp. That's a
Okay,
burp.
okay. Sorry, I asked.
You had to ask.
Okay, go. I will not ask again. Sorry. Okay,
But-
go.
Okay.
Social media. You were
Back
saying.
to the point. And I'm glad I was able to give you that little bit of a comedic break. On social media, and the reason why it exists is because we stay connected.
Yan.
Keep your social media filled with information that can help these people. Promote goodwill. If you see people that are doing good and they post it, share it. Because hopefully it influences people to want to do the same.
And it's infectious.
It is infectious.
Di ba? Yun eh.
You've seen social media go on fire for the Kardashians and all these other things. But it can, we've seen social media also bring voice and show goodwill and make hearts cry because,
Yes.
it does make you feel good to be part of the human race when you see someone do something good for someone else without anything in return.
How about this? As generous as we are, there are also people who are selfish, right?
Yes.
But to all you selfish people, I'm pretty sure if Tagaytay has captured you with building memories of your youth, that's a good enough reason.
Indeed.
If you're not a people person, yun na lang, isipin nyo lang ang Tagaytay. Isipin nyo na lang what Tagaytay has done for you, and I'm pretty sure there are good memories, Jan.
And you know what? Even if you're a selfish person, it doesn't mean you couldn't give.
Yan.
Being selfish is just a state. It's a state you don't have to stay in. Being selfish is just a moment because I was a selfish person. I grew up a very rich kid. I did. I grew up in Ayala, Alabang. And if those people in the Philippines know what Ayala Alabang is in terms of what this village is.
Yes.
It's filled with rich people.
Right.
Famous people, rich people. The Ayalas live there, the Matricals,
The brother of the Sultan of Brunei lived
Exactly. And, we're so selfish. We walled in our community to keep the poor out. We have security guards for that. You want to, we're top consumers of so much things that the poor people can't afford.
there. True.
And the poor people work hard for us to obtain such an abundance. And when you think about that, who isn't selfish in some sense? But it just takes one moment in your life to maybe just write one check or put together a box filled with your old clothes. It takes one moment to make that decision, send it to those people, and then what? Go back to your lives if you want to. But you will feel good about yourself. I will guarantee that.
True.
You got some canned goods in your house that you won't get to, send that. You know how cheap ramen noodles are. To you, it's a throwaway piece of food. For these people, ramen noodles is extra nutrition to keep their bellies warm.
Looking at you talk, no, I'm just fascinated. So I just want to ask, when did it hit you? When did you reach the age of maturity? Because I'm just looking at you and I'm just in awe. So, I mean, for you to even say that there was a time that you were selfish in your life is a very, very good thing. Because ang hirap aminin nun eh. Other people cannot even admit to that fact. When? Because hearing you talk, I just want to shut up and let you.
Well,
what happened? What hit you?
I do have a good story about that.
I want to hear it.
I actually have a few.
Yeah, share.
Eye-opening things. Let me start with another eruption long ago that you and I have experienced. That Jay, you've experienced too. Mount Pinatubo.
Right.
What was that? 91, 92?
91,
Something.
yeah.
Yeah, and outside, right, playing with your friends, whatever. I was there, and then the sky turned dark. It was like
3 o'clock. It was like nighttime at 3
I was like, wait, what time is it? Like I'm sure everybody was thinking the same thing. Hey, what time is it? It's already 6 p.m., 7 p.m.? No, it's, what the hell?
Yes.
Is there an eclipse? That's what me and my friends were looking around. Where's the sun? Tanga, we're looking for a sun to stare at in an eclipse, right? And then ashes started falling. I was like, what's this? Is it snow? Is it snowing in the Philippines? It's not cold. And then our yayas would run out. He goes, "Boy, pasok ka na. Pasok. Tawag ng mga magulang nyo. Pasok na." So we were like, we don't know what's going on. And we got a little bit scared.
Of course.
So we ran home from our houses back to our parents' house. I remember turning on the TV, changing the channels, manually changing the channels. That's how old we are. And there wasn't really much...
No reception.
No reception. We were
Zero.
like, what the hell's going on? So we put on our radio. We weren't getting FM a lot. So we put it to AM radios when we were getting something. And my Tagalog's not that great. But I can make out that this guy sounded frantic. He sounded like there was something big going on. And I heard the word Pinatubo. Umatok na yung Pinatubo. Yung mga tao dito sa Angeles City, kailangan ko yung lumawas.
Talaga pati yung accent na gaya mo, ha?
Now that I realize, now that I realized it was, something really big was going on. Now, fast forward a little bit, a year later or something like that.
So this was Pinatubo, di ba?
Yeah, this is the panahon of Pinatubo. So fast forward after seeing all in the news, and you could see a lot of tragedy.
Yeah.
That one had some terrible casualties that took place. We saw it. And then Lahar, that to further dump on the people that were already affected, more people died after that. Lahar is when the ashes mixed in with
Water.
the rainfall
Yeah.
that came. And, the Philippines has monsoons.
Oh, Lord.
We had thick rain that falls. And that started sliding
Mud,
down.
the mudslide. Yeah.
And whatever
Mud flow.
survivors that were there, further, namatay.
Alam mo
And it
yun,
was
knockdown na, nakabaksak na, sinuntok pa.
Oh. Like I said, man, Mother Nature, it does not have a conscience. It just happens.
It's so weird, no? Doon mo makikita na... Go ahead.
My family loves, like any other family in the Philippines, loves taking vacations to Baguio, And we were driving through, my parents packed food or, pagkain lang
Yeah,
sa
normal.
kotse, normal. Driving through, and we hit the area, I think it was Marcos Highway or... No, somewhere where we were near the affected areas of Pinatubo. And on the side of the roads, there were these people. You could see they were tattered. You know that they were the survivors.
And they had no place to go.
No place to go. It was... So, traffic.
How old were you?
I can't really remember. 91? I was born in 78. So do the math because I suck in math right now. My mind's somewhere else.
You were like 12. No.
Yeah, something
Eto
like that.
na naman
Maybe.
ako. 19.
Let's see who sucks at math more.
Wait. Okay, so 91.
No, 19 is too old for me.
You were born in what? 78?
78.
Oh, I suck at
80
math
is
also.
80 is 10.
So you were
80
probably
to 90
12.
is 10. So 12, 13, something like that. And
Ano ba?
fans, just do the math yourself.
Put it in the comments below.
Apparently, Paco doesn't know how to count. And
Okay,
neither
go.
do I. So I was in the car, right, with my brothers and my parents, and we were driving through that kind of... It really looked like a wrecked danger zone with ashes pushed to the side.
Right.
And these people off to the side waving for you to pay attention to them.
Yeah.
Tao po, tao po. One of the most famous things you'll hear in the Philippines when you run into someone who is homeless, who is hungry, tao po,
That's true.
tao po. And I'll never forget this woman. She had a child in her arms. I really can't say how old it was, but small enough to be in one arm. Mouth wide open, leaning back. I couldn't tell if that child was alive or dead.
Yeah.
I couldn't. But I was staring at her because I could tell there was still some... She wasn't that old, but she looked like she aged. Like, I don't know how to explain it. You can tell that those clothes she's been wearing for God knows how many days, God knows how many months.
Isipin mo, no, for people like us, magkaroon lang ng blackout, stress na tayo.
And here's the thing. She was carrying a bottle filled with ashes. It was probably the ashes of the lahar. And trying to sell it to people driving by. She goes, please, bilhin mo to.
While carrying her baby.
While carrying her baby. Please, bilhin mo to. Bilhin mo to. Ito yung aming nangyari sa aming komunidad. Please, bili ka. Miski gusto ko yung pagbigay ng pagkain para sa aking anak. And I'm looking at her and I don't want to look. You know, that feeling that you just don't want to see sorrow. You just don't want to experience it. But you cannot help because this was such an image in my mind that this lady wasn't begging. She was offering something in return. Just please give me something to feed my kid. My father rolls down the window and gives her more than she would be expecting. He gave him just 500 pesos. Back then, 500
Was
pesos.
a lot.
It was a lot.
Was a lot, yeah.
Because he could. And he gives her 500 pesos. And she's trying to hand my dad the bottle. My dad's like, no. Wag. Sa'yo na yan.
God bless
Ibenta mo na lang sa mga
Sa
iba.
iba. Yeah,
sa iba
yeah,
na
yeah.
yan. Okay lang.
Galing.
And my mom's handing over the sandwiches that she packed for us.
Yes.
You know, okay lang, just give the sandwiches. We'll stop by somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, and she was insistent. Take the bottle. And my dad didn't want. And my mom's like, will you just take the bottle? Take the bottle. He goes, no. And he was, Dad will win that fight, right? No, no, no. And shoos her away, rolls up the window,
And goes.
and off we went. And my parents had an argument about that in the van. It was like, you know what? You should have just taken that bottle. Son, I don't want to hear about it because I gave her 500 pesos. We gave her food. She can sell that bottle to someone else. Okay?
Tinignan mo silang dalawa, no? They were both right at...
Both right, and there's no winners in this argument. But my mom's point was not that to make her go away faster. That was not her point. Her point was you should have taken the bottle because the last thing she has left is dignity. Dignity. She got 500 pesos and sandwiches to feed her kid.
Yeah.
But I remember turning back and looking, and she still looked defeated.
Right.
Holding that bottle in her hand, 500 pesos richer, sandwiches to give her son, and she still looked defeated. There's a lot to be said about a human's dignity, that you do not understand its value until it's been taken away from you. And that is something I want engraved in people's minds and hearts. When you are donating something to the victims and the people who have suffered in the Taal explosion, I mean, thank you. No casualties at this time, but they don't have a lot of that. They don't have a lot of time. They lost their homes. They lost their clothes. They lost their possessions. They lost their pets. You may not think of it, but a pet is like a family. These people who race the horses, they've had those horses since ponies.
Yeah.
Okay, they named them.
Yes.
They have names. They died to come back to your horse, and because you had to flee for your
Like,
life.
what was that story you were telling me? That person was removing the ash from...
And there was burnt marks
Yeah.
on the horse, as if it was sunburned. And horses have that
Yes.
fur, or what do you call it? But fur, right?
Hair.
It was not there when he wiped it off. It was burn marks.
Oh, my goodness.
And I could hear the crackle in that person's voice as he's trying to wipe off the ashes from the horse. You can tell it's like, I finally found my brother or my son or whatever.
My family member.
You survived, but oh my God, you've been hurt. Yeah. You've been hurt. It's devastating to these people. It looks fantastic on camera, but mind you, to these people, they're not a movie. They're not an entertainment. They're living through this as we speak. They're living through this. And that's something you got to keep in mind when you're ready to give, when you're ready to donate something. And please do so.
You know what? Ang ganda na sinabi mo. I just want to reiterate that part. Sanay tayo when we see stuff like this, we think that, oh, it's a video. And we forget these are not actors. What happened wasn't part of special effects. They're not inside a soundstage with green screen and visual effects. They're actually, like what you said, they're actually in it right now.
Yes.
They're living it. Yung iba sa kanila, they don't have electricity, nothing to eat, no place to stay. Probably maybe not dead, but missing loved ones, perhaps.
Or just the fact that you're a kid and you have classmates and you have no idea where they're at.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think of things like that too. When you were young and you had your barkada, right?
Yeah.
Your barkada was pretty much like a family.
Yes.
I have many friends that I grew up with that I consider, like, if you came over to my house is always open to you. We grew up together since 4th grade, 3rd grade.
Yes.
Dude, anytime, anywhere, you're like my brother. And these kids, they're going through that right now. Their schools destroyed.
Closed. Wala.
They have no idea if they're going to go to the same schools again.
Yep.
And you may not think of that because you're a parent and, you're just trying to get your kids educated. That social interaction between their friends and not knowing where they're at, it will devastate them. It will make them feel sad. And we all know sadness doesn't last, but to them, it feels like a lifetime at that moment. And it's, you got to think of them too.
So ikaw naman, when you initiated this cause, what did you tell your wife? And is she on board?
Yeah, she knows, and she is on board. Here's the thing, Papa.
It's been bothering you,
It's
diba?
been-
And you're very passionate about this.
Sunday, when I heard about it, it instantly. And to the viewers that saw episode
yeah.
6, okay, I have bipolar disorder. I do. It's from years of abusing myself with alcohol and drugs, maybe. Or maybe I was just born with it. God knows what it is. But I have it. I own it. It's mine. It's my disease to own. And I live with it. And I live with it every day. It's fine. I'm fine. But when my emotions go through certain things, I can be manic. And that's my bipolar disorder going off.
Okay.
It's either like I'm extremely happy,
Or
extremely sad, extremely fearful, extremely stressed. So when I was looking at all the news, following everything on social media, getting all these whelping emotions about Tagaytay, Talisay, all these places, even hearing from my friends in Muntinlupa and Ayala Bank saying, dude, the air is just so bad. I started getting emotional about
Right,
it.
of course.
And, I'm honest with my wife, as you should be. And I asked her, because she knows. I was like, baby, is my reaction correct? Am I being manic right now? Can you tell? Because sometimes when I'm going through this, I can't tell.
Right.
I
To
don't
you,
know.
it's just an emotion,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's what you're feeling at the moment. But
I have to check with my wife. I have to check with my friends who do know
Right.
that I have this, and just to make sure. Hey, man, is this right? Am I being? And growing up with it and not knowing I had it at the time, people would just say, "Hey, maarte ka lang, shut up, maarte ka lang." And listen, they didn't know, I didn't know.
Yeah.
So I don't blame them for their reactions. It is what it is. But when you do find out that you have this, you start questioning your emotions, whether, okay, is this right? Am I supposed to feel this way? Am I overreacting? They're a million miles away. My life is here now. I'm not from Batangas, even though my bloodline is. I'm not from there. I can just donate money, move on with my life, and call it a day. But I couldn't separate myself from it.
man, you shouldn't.
I couldn't stop looking at images. I couldn't stop running to my Facebook account to see what's going on. Is everyone okay? Did someone die? Because, the Philippines experiences calamities all the time. Typhoon Ondoy, Tacloban, you name it, Pinatubo. Even when Mayon volcano erupted.
Were you affected by those calamities?
Yeah, I was. I
Not
felt
as
that.
intense as
Not
this.
as intense as this. Ondoy, I was.
Okay.
Typhoon Ondoy was. Because that was Metro Manila. That's
Homeland.
directly home.
Yes.
And, when that happened, I was completely not playing any music. Like, not playing at all. I had my bass in a closet, nothing. And I wanted to do something so bad. And I saw somewhere in Facebook that Glenn was going to put on a benefit, fundraising. And I said, I called Glenn or sent a message to Glenn, dude, I feel the need to do something. Can you help? Can I help? Can I go there? I don't care. I can bring an acoustic guitar, maybe sing one song, or if you want me to play bass, whatever. And to my disappointment, unfortunately, he was like, sorry, man, I got a band already. We're all set with our artists. I was like, oh, okay, But I heard Perf needs a bassist.
Right.
Here, contact Perf. And that's the Kupoteng Bakal, thing.
I was supposed to play in that.
Yeah, I know.
I was supposed to be your drummer that time.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be our first meeting, by the way. Yeah.
That would have been. But again, I was affected enough to get off my ass.
Right.
And do something. And I felt good, but when I heard the amount that was raised, and I won't mention it, it still sounded like it wasn't enough. It didn't. It doesn't sound enough to rebuild. And I still felt defeated after that. But at the same time, it's all I could have done.
Yeah.
And I accepted the fact that was all I could do. Fast forward to this moment. Okay? This happens. I'm having flashbacks to watching the videos of Typhoon Ondoy. I'm having flashbacks of that lady on the road with the bottle.
From Pinatubo.
Mm-hmm. I'm having these wild effects of emotions just flying through me. And I'm scared because now I know I had bipolar disorder. I'm scared because I don't know if it's true. I questioned it for days. So it happened Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I stopped and said, honey, it's not going away. I think this is real. I think this is an emotion I'm supposed to feel. And I said, honey, I got to do something. She goes, okay, what are you going to do? Well, first we got to donate something. We got to find a place to donate.
Yeah.
Second, I made a website. It doesn't have a good URL, by the way, because it was a free site.
What does it say? What's the URL?
It's really long. I just shared it with people. I posted it on my Facebook page, and I'll keep posting it. I'll give you the URL.
Yeah, so we can put it.
Show.
So we can put it here on the description as well.
I didn't have time to put together a good URL, but I put images in it and to show the devastation that happened, and a click link to take you to where you can help. And I sent link and I posted links to the Philippine Red Cross, to PETA Asia, and to Doctors Without Borders.
That's nice. At least may one-stop shop.
So you can actually click on it and go to it. It's their logo. Click on it, you go there. And then I took clippings from Facebook for people in the Philippines.
Yeah.
It's just a writing. It's just I guess they're posters for where they can drop off donation areas and things of that nature. And please, people, if you go to my website and it needs any updating in terms of that information, let me know. And that way I can update accordingly.
By the way, if you want to get in touch with Phil, they could get in touch with you because I'm putting the link to your Facebook page. So that way they could PM you, give you a shout out or a pat on the back virtually.
Yeah.
Kind of, that'll help. Diba? Mm-hmm. Now, let's go back to you. Okay? Because what you're doing is very noble. I really appreciate it. Speaking of infectious, now you got me fired up because this is something that I'd like not only the two of us to do, but our community, everybody. And the nice thing about this show that we have, everybody who listens to the podcast end up researching or searching for the person with me on the podcast. And your words, I just have to take the back seat because you've said it already. And I really admire you for saying what you just said because hopefully I am very confident that people who are listening will take the time to pause this podcast and actually go to where they should go and maybe take action. We were talking about CTA.
Yes. Call to action.
This is our call to action. There's a time for being funny. There's a time for being corny, but now it's a time to get serious.
Yep. And you know what? You don't even have to pull me up. Go on Google, go on your whatever web browser you have, type in Taal Volcano, look for the news articles. There are places there where you can find where you can donate.
There you go.
There are 1,000 ways to get to where you want to go in regards to helping these people. Facebook's a great place if you're from the Philippines or if you're a Filipino reaching out to other Filipinos. Obviously, you're going to see something about Taal Volcano. And I do encourage you to look for places where you can donate And if you don't know any, like I said, the general places, the Philippine Red Cross, PETA Asia, Doctors Without Borders, Arnel Pineda's Foundation, and so many others. You can reach out to these people and send your dollars. I'd like to remind the Filipino Americans or the Filipinos that are here in America, $1 is 50 pesos. $2 is 100 pesos. $100 is 5,000 pesos. $200 is 10,000 pesos.
I'll stop you there. $200 or 10,000 pesos can go a long, long, long way.
Indeed.
Dito, that's a fine meal. To most people earning more than minimum wage, that's like 2 days worth of work. I'm pretty sure makakahanap mo yung $200 or $100.
And
Keep going.
even if you give them just $50, I mean, think of all the food and clothing it can get them. More importantly, the medicine. You know what I mean? These people will need medical attention, will need sacks of rice, things to keep them alive while they're going through this. And later on, we need to also help donate to help them rebuild their communities that they lost. And to those who are there, close enough to help them, if you know how to operate a freaking shovel, go out there with your shovel.
Yes.
You know, do something, anything, physically help them.
Yep.
You know, if you got to help lift those sacks of rices,
Go.
if you got to go door to door and get your donations,
If that's all you can contribute, you could do it.
go through your closet and find clothes you don't give a crap about and send it to them, because to them that's giving them back some dignity.
Yes.
And Paco, I want to bring something up about clothes donation because it was bothering me, and I got to ask you about this.
Go.
Okay. So on Facebook, there were these people, and I got countered it, but not directly. So there were postings of these Filipinos going through the donations and making fun of the clothes that were being sent. Like some guys were wearing women's clothing. Some guys were putting on like, oh, I'm a security guard now. And they're having fun with this. And my first reaction was, stop.
Tama lang yun.
Stop. First of all, these people don't have anything else. You're going to put these on and mock the donations, but these people have to be the ones to wear them. In a sense, you're shaming them to wear these clothes that may be the only things they have left.
Yes.
And it broke my heart. I wanted to. I wrote them.
Good. Kasi tama lang yung
but
naramdaman mo.
I didn't want to be, you know.
Why not?
I didn't want to, because these people are there at the donation sites and they're doing something more than I am doing right now. But because I'm giving them the dignity that they're there doing good.
Or the benefit of the doubt.
For the benefit of the doubt, they're Filipinos. I get that we laugh through such sad times, and maybe that's their way of coping. So that's why I didn't want to be, hoy, wag ka ganon. I didn't want to be like this harsh person.
True.
So, you know, instead of putting like an angry emoji face, I just put one of the tearing face, you know what I mean? And telling them, listen, man, this is, to these people, this might be all they have, or all they can, all they can wear.
Did they reply?
No, not a reply. And it's okay. I said my piece. But then I saw another posting from one of my friends saying, this is great to see Filipinos laughing through such times of hardship. And I kind of felt guilty.
No.
Well, that's where I'm kind of having a hard time trying to sort my emotions out about that situation. Maybe it is good to laugh through some situations, but maybe the timing is wrong. You know, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
You are correct, because we can laugh through good and bad situations all day long. However, there is a time for everything, diba?
That's what I felt too. Yeah.
You know, like siguro do it. That's fine. Pero release the video or the pictures when the clothes have been delivered, when everybody has a place to stay, when everybody has clothes to wear, and when it's all behind us, then let's laugh about it. Parang ano yan eh. Parang namatayan ka. You lost your mom and dad. Okay, it happened to me.
Yeah,
Don't tell me funny stories about my dad right now. I don't need that right now.
you need time to. You
Let
need
me
the
mourn.
appropriate emotions at the moment.
Right? Let me mourn. And then later on, alam mo yung ginawa ng daddy mo, ganyan, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then let's both laugh. Parang ganun din. Yun ang tingin ko sa mga damit. And then, galing pa sa donation center yung mga pictures ba?
I do believe so.
Diba? Parang,
But you know what? Here's another thing I don't know. Those people who were putting the funny pictures, maybe they were also the evacuees.
okay. Yeah.
It's possible. So that's why I was kind of like, I wanted to reel myself in because maybe I
Yeah.
don't have all my facts right. And a little bit of humility for myself. Maybe these were the evacuees laughing through their times of hardship.
Then that would be a good thing.
That's if those people are, then my apologies for
But-
my emotions.
You know, I mean, it's okay to apologize for that, but you were just erring on the side of caution. Diba? Tama
That I
naman.
want people to be respectful of the moment.
Yan. I mean, kumbaga, hindi ka nakitawa. Right? Your reaction was okay. And maybe they should also realize na, are we going too far? Because if they were the evacuees, and I was the person donating those clothes, I'd be offended. Think about it. Parang instead of, okay, you're mocking the stuff that I gave.
Yeah.
Diba? So, I think there's a...
It's
tama
like
ka eh.
belittling also the people who gave
Yeah,
something.
exactly. There's a time and place for everything. We're not saying we can't laugh about it, but maybe it wasn't the time to post it or
Right.
to say it. Ako ganun eh. Tactless din ako sometimes. I have to catch myself.
And we all can become tactless at times. Ako, patawa ako lagi. And sometimes I might say something that was off time.
Right.
You know? And maybe I'm guilty of just not being funny. For
No.
whatever the reason
You're
be.
very, very
But
funny.
at the same time, well, you know, not always.
But,
even comedians have bad moments.
Exactly. But a
bad
while ago,
jokes.
the reason why I cracked, why I redirected you was because I didn't want you to fall into a state of hindi ka na makabangon. Because I was watching while you were doing your speech, and I felt you. And I finished my coffee because I didn't want to cry with you. Kundi, baka hindi na kita maibangon. Diba? We were talking about your bipolar disorder also. Because you're bouncing from one emotion to another. That's why I'm trying to...
Yeah, and I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
But I did practice this a bit.
Oh,
So I'm like, I knew what I was going to say.
I heard you almost caused an accident a while ago while reading it. Huh?
Jay, what did you say?
You almost fell, sabi.
I almost fell off my chair.
Yeah, well, no, because as I was reading it, it's not that I moved Jay so much.
What?
He was falling asleep. Gee, thanks, Jay. Thanks. It was such a heartfelt emotion. I'm like this. I can only imagine me reading this thing. Jay, what do you think? Thanks a lot, Jay.
Hey, rhymes with Jay.
You know, this was such a solemn moment, and
But I did feel it. I'm like, especially the Mother Nature thing made me think, oh my God, that's so true.
and you know, we're not too far. I mean, the Philippines and California were part of the Pacific Belt of Fire, and we all know the Pacific Belt of Fire is susceptible to earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, tsunamis, and you know what's crazy is that this was the fourth volcano to erupt in 3 days.
Yeah,
We
sunod-sunod.
had Peru,
Uh-huh.
Mexico, Japan, and the Philippines.
How about this? The night before Taal erupted, I was watching Dante speak.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that.
I kid you not. Because my son, he's kind of into the San Andreas, those calamity movies and all that stuff, right? Sabi ko, when I was younger, there was this movie called Dante's Peak. We're gonna watch it, and we were like freaking out watching it that night. And then in the morning, I think Janelle had TFC on, so I was hearing everything in the news real time. And I was like, "What the heck is this real?" Because I was still asleep when they were talking about Taal erupting, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I was just watching Dante speak the night before. So yeah, the Ring of Fire. Kasama yan.
Very much so. And you know, Paco, we're in Los Angeles.
We are.
We're in Southern California.
Ah.
We are not excused from
Nope.
what can happen. And we've seen the stories of what happened when the big one hit in LA, San Francisco.
Yeah.
You know, we Filipinos populate a lot in these Pacific Coast areas, and we're still in
Yep.
in dangerous spots, so to say. And you know, to the grace of God, nothing really has happened yet to us. But when the time comes, we're hoping that there are people with large hearts doing the same for people who, if we're affected, we can only hope that people would take care of us and our families like how we are trying to take care of those people who are the Taal victims.
Yeah, because what goes around comes around, right?
Certainly. Yeah,
Whatever it is you believe in, what goes around comes around.
definitely.
Yun lang yun eh.
Well, I am definitely round, so things go around me. Do you know what my belt size is? Equator.
Talaga?
Yeah. You didn't notice that piece of rock that keeps following me? That's my moon.
Ewan ko sa'yo, Phil. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you made the drive because there are a lot of things to talk about.
Definitely. And you know, Paco, I have all these other wonderful stories to share of other things, but I wanted to take this moment to actually do this and kind of stay on topic with this because this is kind of like an important moment for them.
Yes.
And we're not done.
Nope.
We're not done spreading the news for these people. We have a lot of work still to do. I'm hoping your podcast spreads like wildfire for this. And I have a selfish reason for it. It's okay to be selfish if your selfish reason has purpose. My selfish reason is because I want this message to spread like wildfire.
Speaking
and
of that,
if this show does it, hell yeah.
Thank you. Speaking of what you just said, guys, for whatever reason, selfless reason, please spread the message. Spread the message that Phil just sent out. I'm pretty sure, we have a friend who actually went out of his way to bring the message. Tayo naman as a community, our job is to spread this message as far as we can, so that we can tap into everybody who really wants to help, and also create awareness, so that as a community, as a people, as a Filipino pride na lang, let's all help the people that have been affected by the Taal Volcano eruption. And then you know what? This will cause not man awareness, but an impression on our kababayans na kapit-bisig talaga tayo whenever something wrong goes. And maybe because of what you just did, maybe it'll start a paradigm wherein we're united not only in calamities and disasters, but now we can be united in building the Filipino as a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, and we can all hope, because you know what, and just going back to the Korakat people and all that stuff, we're living in the generation where we can have instant videos
Yes.
of evidence of people
Yes.
doing wrong, but we can also use that to show instant images of people doing good.
Yes.
And I want those to always overwhelm and overpower our social media. So if you are doing good, I don't care if you're doing it just so you can look good, share it anyway, because sharing the message of doing your fellow people good is still a good message to share. So even if your purpose is selfish in regards to just want to look good, share it anyway. I don't care what the message is. No, I mean, like, I care what the message is. I don't care what the purpose was. And if you can start that fire inside your hearts, that doing good for your people, if you can start that fire, that becomes the pride of the Philippines.
Yeah.
You can even affect your politicians to start changing as well. Because I want people to remember that politicians are not the ones in power.
Amen.
They were given
the privilege.
they were given their positions to execute the power of the people.
Yeah.
The people are the ones with the power. You also have the power to remove them from office if they are not representing your people's needs. So that is the power that you have to be able to change the people you don't want leading you.
Yeah.
At the same time, to those politicians, you were voted into power not to lead, but to serve.
Yeah.
That is your reason why you even went out and did your
Campaign,
speeches,
yeah,
your
whatever.
campaigns. You went out there because you are gaining the trust of the people.
Yes.
And don't you dare violate that trust, because we're in a time of social media. We're in a time where cameras are watching, and we can share the message of what you're doing right or what you're doing wrong.
Preach it.
I give you the benefit of the doubt that you are in this position, but you're not in this position of power for you. You are in this position of service to deliver the greatest possible gift to your community, which is prosperity. So, please lang, even if there's selfish reason of running for powers to look good, just do good.
Amen. And we'll let go on that note. No, I have nothing more to say except thank you for putting this flavor on the podcast. We need this. We need this.
And Paco, thanks for such late notice allowing me to be here and
We'll have you
joining
back.
this.
We'll have you back.
And I, you know what? I do this because I like hanging out with this guy too.
Me too.
He makes me feel good.
No. You make us feel
not
good.
in an awkward
Okay.
way.
Okay. You said this will be a solemn episode, so let's keep it that way.
Yes,
Let's
indeed.
not break from character. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Mr. Phil Recto, the first deja vu guest on the podcast. Oh, diba?
Thank you to the two people clapping for me.